Hey, what's up, everyone? This is the Being Beautifully Honest podcast, and today I wanted to talk about the shooting that happened at the OLG restaurant in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, if you guys are listening to this podcast, don't already know what the OLG restaurant is, this is a restaurant, the OLG stands for Old Lady Gang, and it is a restaurant that was opened by Kandi Burruss Tucker and Todd Tucker of the Real Housewives of Orange County. Now, they have a few restaurants, and I'm going to talk about that in another episode of the podcast. But around Valentine's Day, there was a shooting that happened at one of their OLG restaurant locations in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm going to have a link to that story in the description box, but I'm also going to allow you to hear the news clip about it, and then we'll get back into the story.
Breaking now at 11, a gunman walked into the Old Lady Gang restaurant and started shooting.
So this is what we know. At least 3 people were shot. Hope Ford is live outside the restaurant at Camp Creek Marketplace in East Point. So what are police saying tonight, Hope?
Well, the first thing is everyone is alive. No one had life-threatening injuries, so that is a bit of good news there. So as far as what happened inside the Old Lady Gang restaurant, police tell us that a man walked into the restaurant and shot another man somewhere in the lower half of his body. 2 other people, 2 innocent bystanders, were also shot, and the suspect took off. Police are looking for that person right now. Now, there was obviously a lot of panic that was going on during and after the shooting. This is a very busy shopping center. There are lots of restaurants that are connected nearby, and it is Valentine's Day night, so there was a lot of people coming and going. We met with 2 women who were standing outside the restaurant when the shooting happened. They described the moments they heard those gunshots. Take a listen.
And I saw 2 girls run out. They heard them scream, and I heard 2 pops.
Yeah.
And I ran.
Yeah, just took off after that.
Now, the restaurant shut down very quickly. There's just a few employees inside right now that are cleaning up. The victims are being treated. And I have seen a few police cars driving around, again, this very busy shopping center over the past probably half hour or so. So, again, just to quickly recap, there were 3 people shot. 1 person seemed to be targeted. 2 innocent bystanders also shot. They are all alive. None of them had any life-threatening injuries. And right now, police are looking for that suspect. And we hope to have some more details about that suspect here in a little bit. Of course, we'll keep you updated with all of those details.
All right, thank you so much, Hope. This is a top story right now on 11alive.com. As soon as we learn more information from out there on the scene, we're going to be sure to bring you an update on the 11 Alive app.
Okay, so you guys heard that news story about the shooting that happened at the restaurant. Now, some people question whether this was something that there's this clip of Kandi's mother saying, you know, some things about Todd, and then one of Kandi's aunts said this line, and here's what she said.
They never got no pictures. We was telling you a story, Mama.
Well, it could have been a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the booze.
All right, so you heard that clip, but yeah, some people are wondering if this is a scheme that Todd came up with to come at us with the BS. But here's the thing. I definitely don't believe that this was a plot line. I don't believe that this was planned. I do believe that this was random. And when I say random, it was something that the person that came to the restaurant to confront this person that they shot planned. But I don't believe that this was something that was in the plans for the owners of the OLG restaurant so that they can talk about this on the Real Housewives of Orange County episodes that would be, you know, upcoming in either future seasons or maybe, you know, at the reunion or, you know, whatever. But what I will say is that it is content for sure that they can utilize and talk about for more interest in their storylines. And I'm going to talk more about this in another episode regarding the Real Housewives of Atlanta, more so focusing on them, but definitely regarding all of the Housewives franchises. But I'm not going to go into that in this episode. But I don't believe that the shooting that happened at the restaurant was something that Kandi or her husband or anyone for that matter that's associated with the show planned. It was something that happened at their restaurant. But definitely something that they will utilize if they do get to have another season, they'll utilize for the show. Because let's face it, a lot of the storylines are just storylines. It's not even really real life for, many of them. And I'm not saying they're not going about living their everyday lives, but a lot of the things are just like, why am I even watching this? Because this is just so not interesting, and it's not really captivating. It's just almost like it is contrived, and so it becomes boring. And it is sad, but that's why I don't believe that these reality shows are meant to last for 5, 10, and longer seasons. Because I don't know about you guys, but I know, and I'm just going to be honest, I don't need anyone to tell me. I know I am not the most interesting person in the world to listen to. Like, that's one of the reasons why I don't really vlog much anymore, because my life is busy, but it's not really that interesting. It's just my everyday regular routines of me either working in my home office, or I'm working with clients doing services, or I might be, traveling to different locations and doing the things that I'm doing in my business. And then, when I'm living my life, I'm working with my husband's dogs. I'm, dealing in the kitchen. I might cook, I might not cook. I'm driving to and fro and wherever, doing things, for my personal life and for my business life. And it's not the most interesting lifestyle. So it's not really captivating. I mean, even I don't watch the Kardashians, but even them, like when I watch and see different commercials that are promoting their newest or upcoming seasons, a lot of the things that they're talking about is like, who cares? I mean, it's not really that interesting, but I mean, for some people it is, but that is subjective. So it's not a whole lot of interest there. So when things like this happen that are not planned in life, they will definitely utilize it for the show because it is interesting content. Because let's face it, if we all see a train wreck, we see a car crash, we see tragic things happen, no, it may not be a good thing that has happened, but it catches our eyes, it catches our attention. That is why when there are car accidents on the road, on the interstate, when you're traveling, a lot of the traffic happens not because it's blocking the lanes, but it's because people are nosy and they slow down and they look to see what's going on. So it takes our eyes off of what we should be focusing on, and we're veering off to look at what's going on because it was something that was not planned. It was something that was a shock. It was something that was, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. And you just see it and you look at it and it's kind of hard to turn away from. So having that shooting that occurred at their restaurant is definitely content that they will be able to use for upcoming season or seasons of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And of course, at their reunions. And then I believe Kandi also has a YouTube channel, which I don't watch. I'm honestly just not here for the celebrities that are doing YouTube channels these days. Not knocking them, and I don't have any hate towards them, but we who are regular people, we can't just go and get on network television that they have been able to break into, but they get to conquer network television and also come to YouTube, no problem. And it's just like, there's no even playing field, but that's another story for another day. But what I'm saying is that it definitely will be utilized for plot lines, I do believe, but I don't believe that it was planned. I don't believe that they're that sinister that they would have something like that happen, because it really did hurt people. Like, people were legitimately injured. It wasn't like one of those scenes from Coming to America when Samuel L. Jackson came into the McDowell's restaurant and shot at the ceiling and was holding people hostage for a little bit, and then he eventually got this gun taken away and nobody got hurt. No, people actually got shot at the restaurant, at the OLG restaurant. So that definitely was not planned. But I do believe that there are litigation possibilities because it is the OLG restaurant. Now, this is just a regular restaurant, even though it is owned by some people who are, known to be famous. But I don't believe that they would have had security there. It's just not that type of place. Like, let's be honest. These days that we are living in, you have people that are unfortunately going into churches and shooting up. And so some churches are having to step it up, and they're getting security, in these places. But it hasn't gotten to the point that people were thinking about having security at restaurants, because this is just not something that you normally see either. And no, it's not normal to see people going into a church and shooting either, but we've had a number of instances of that, unfortunately. So with this happening, hopefully there will not be many more of these situations where someone is going into a restaurant and shooting. But I do believe that because of who they are, they are definitely probably going to get served with some papers, because the sharks are waiting. The ambulance chasing attorneys, they're waiting. They are ready to have litigation file where the chances are more likely than not that there will be some type of settlement where they can get their 33 1/3% off of the top, and any costs that were involved for making copies, filing the paperwork in court, and all that good stuff, paying for the process server. I was a legal assistant for 12 years, guys, so I kind of know a little bit about that stuff. It's just the way it is. Unfortunately, when someone is famous and she's always talking about her money and her businesses, and she's just, winning, you're going to have people that are going to come for you that are not winning, because they see it as an easy bag to capture. So that's really real. The litigation possibilities are exceptionally high. So I would definitely be on the lookout for them being served with some papers because of what happened and because of who they are. I don't believe it was their fault. I don't believe that it was planned, but I definitely do believe that they will utilize it for a plot line. And I do believe that there are high likelihood of litigation possibilities in this situation. So I would love to know what you guys think about it. Let me know in the comments section. So I really appreciate you guys listening to this episode of the Being Beautifully Honest podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a thumbs up. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. And until the next episode, this is Elizabeth, the Minister of Beauty, here to share the Bible that is business, inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. And I hope you all have an amazingly blessed and beautiful day.